Hello, it's me. You may be all too familiar with these stories, but only because you couldn't stop talking about them this year.
I know when that hotline bling.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 pop culture stories of 2015. For this list, we're counting down the pop culture stories that kept the world abuzz in 2015 for months and months at a time.
Bitch, where you and I was walking. Now I run the game, got the whole world talking. King Coulter, everybody wanna cut the legs off. King Coulter, black man taking no loss.
Number 10. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner split.
So other sources are actually saying it wasn't the drinking and gambling, but just that he's been super busy and she's been feeling neglected.
All good things must come to an end, and this is certainly true in Hollywood. And 2015 saw the demise of many a celebrity couple, including Gwen Stefani and Gavin Rossdale, Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert, Halle Berry and Olivier Martinez, and Kaylee Cuoco and Ryan Sweeting, just to name a few. But it's Ben and Jen that make our list. Just over a decade ago, Benifer was a normal phrase in the lexicon of pop culture discussion. However, by 2005, Ben Affleck found love with another Jennifer, Jennifer Garner, and they seemed to have it all, especially after their family grew to 5.
Where was he? Was he
birthed babies
Yeah,
for him.
I
And
get
I
it.
still have never seen just the pure joy.
Unfortunately, one day after their 10th anniversary, the Mr. and Mrs. announced their impending divorce.
They wanted to wait until the last day of school, which apparently was Monday, which fit in perfectly with 10 years and 1 day from their...
You broke our hearts, Jen and Ben, but there's always hope for an emotional reunion.
Stay with me.
Number 9. The launch and fail of Tidal.
Right now, they're writing a story for us. We need to write the story for ourselves.
If you ask Jay-Z about his latest business venture called Tidal, acquired in March of 2015, he will probably mention that it represents the future of streaming music, as well as something about the dope high-fidelity audio.
Industry shady, you need to be taken over.
With all due respect to Hova, he and his big business corporate pals haven't exactly connected with the younger demographic, whether it's due to the heightened monthly premium fee or just the concept of how most millennials, or regular people for that matter, actually listen to music.
I think it's a cool idea, but I wouldn't want to pay for it.
Much like Hillary Clinton, Tidal brands itself as something for the people, with the hashtag Tidal for All. However, the business doesn't seem to understand how consumers live out their daily, normal lives.
Yeah, thanks to all the hustlers, and most importantly you, the customer, the rock boys in the building tonight.
Number 8. Deflategate.
Brady looking sluggish again today. Not sure what his problem has been lately.
Yeah, definitely not looking as strong and virile as he has in the past, Tom.
Hut, hut.
It's always been cute for the average sports rube to rip on Tom Brady and the Patriots, sometimes for legitimate reasons and sometimes for rather stupid reasons. But all hell broke loose when the Indianapolis Colts accused the future Super Bowl champs of cheating during the AFC Championship in January of 2015.
And the New England Patriots are back in the Super Bowl again.
Sure, there are probably some bigger concerns within the NFL itself, most notably players beating on their wives. But for several months, Tom Brady became the focus of unhealthy obsessions for his unwillingness to succumb to pressure and continuing accusations about his part in the tampering of footballs. And guess what? He won.
I dealt with them the best way that I know how, and certainly I have so much support from family and friends.
Brady beat the damn NFL and Commissioner Roger Goodell, so all that's left for him to do is walk on water. Or maybe just win another couple Super Bowls.
You're the greatest quarterback in the world, man.
Hey, I love you, man.
Number 7. Taylor Swift versus Apple.
'Cause baby, now we got bad blood. You know it used to be mad love. So take a look what you've done. 'Cause baby, now we got bad blood. Hey!
In 2014, the biggest pop star in the world removed her catalog from Spotify. And much to the surprise of Apple Music this past summer, Taylor Swift looked at the details of their 3-month trial plan and essentially said, "Oh, hell no. We artists need to get paid."
So when she speaks, people listen. That point was made quite clear on Sunday when she took on tech giant Apple.
It's not hard to imagine a group of Apple executives having heart palpitations. And by the following day, the Apple plan had been revised.
Apple Music will pay artists for streaming even during customers' free trial period.
And just like that, it was resolved. Tay-Tay, that's power.
It's a lesson to live by. Don't steal from others. And Apple reaped the benefits of their new terms as Swift decided to make her new album available for streaming just as more dates were announced for her massive 1989 world tour.
Cause the players gonna play, 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 play. And the haters gonna hate, 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 baby. I'm just gonna shake, 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 shake. Shake it off, shake it off.
Number 6. Charlie Sheen's HIV reveal.
I'm here to admit that I am, in fact, HIV positive.
Coming from a Hollywood legacy and once TV's highest paid actor, Charlie Sheen has been in the public eye for much of his life.
Do you have any sense of right and wrong?
Probably not. How was dinner?
The spotlight turned towards him even more glaringly in late 2015, when he disclosed that he'd been diagnosed with HIV 4 years earlier, and that he'd been blackmailed into paying out millions of dollars to keep the story quiet.
Who, after a sexual encounter, went into your bathroom and with a cell phone took an image of your antiretroviral medication.
That is correct, yeah.
And then threatened to sell that image to the tabloids.
Yes.
Though Sheen had been known for his bad boy ways and an extravagant lifestyle filled with women and addictions, the reveal made headlines around the world, with mixed reactions.
But sometimes if you live a life that's out of balance, it has consequences.
Of course it does.
While Sheen said he doesn't expect to become the face of the disease, he did say he hopes to lessen the stigma of HIV/AIDS in the public eye.
And hopefully with what we're doing today, others may come forward and say, thanks, Charlie, thanks for kicking the door open, you know.
Number 5. The new Star Wars film.
I will finish what you started.
A new Star Wars film directed by J.J. Abrams? Just the thought alone inspired millions of mind boners.
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
But when a new trailer was released during Monday Night Football in October 2015, millions of relationships had to be reanalyzed as grown men and women watched their significant others transform into children in real time.
Oh, thank you, Santa.
Sure, there's always some type of epidemic or war to be concerned about. But you can't blame those who take joy in the latest fantasy story set in the world created by George Lucas.
Chewie, we're home.
In fact, the best part of Star Wars is watching people freak out over new footage. All joking aside, the story of the late Daniel Fleetwood, a lifelong Star Wars fan who got to see the movie before he died of cancer, proved just how powerful cinema can be.
Today, Disney made his final dream come true. His grateful wife wrote on Facebook, "A wonderful present that means so much to a man who will not be with us much longer. May the force be with you, Daniel."
Number 4. Saying goodbye to late night.
You're married, is that right? Do you have a family?
And my wife is dead.
I'm sorry to hear that.
High five!
You don't know what you got till it's gone. And in 2015, late night TV lost both David Letterman and Jon Stewart. Sure, they're not dead, but each provided a certain sense of security for viewers on a nightly basis, both within the United States and beyond.
You're a major star, and yet here you are playing with lint balls. Well, I wish that you would quit trying to run my life.
Letterman had been around since 1982, with Bill Murray as his first guest. And all of a sudden, he was presenting us with the final top 10 list in 2015, with Bill Murray as his final guest.
Dave, I'll never have the money I owe you.
Oh, no.
And while Jon Stewart still seems relatively young and could possibly become a future U.S. president, his departure was bittersweet in that he educated the average viewer on timely topics while comedically pointing out the flaws in the system.
So I say to you tonight, friends, the best defense against bullshit is vigilance. So if you smell something, say something.
Both men left a lasting imprint on pop culture dialogue, and we'll miss all the daily snark.
I'm Jon Stewart. I'm dumb. I'm stupid. Yeah. So long, jackass.
Number 3. Donald Trump's presidential run.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Despite what comes out of Donald Trump's mouth, which is usually a bit of verbal diarrhea, it's clear that a large portion of Americans are taking him seriously in his bid to become president.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
As Saturday Night Live so brilliantly explained, he's like the Sanjaya Malakar of politics. You know, a politician who clearly shouldn't be in a position to win, yet mass hysteria keeps him around.
You used to call me on the cell phone.
Some people hate the Donald, and we can certainly understand why. But many just love the guy. And you know who you are, giggling away watching YouTube clips only to slam Trump in public. It is time to make a decision. Well, almost.
Look, I'm really rich. I know how to run a business, and I know this. Our country's gonna be well off with me.
Number 2, Bill Cosby, rape allegations.
The only reason Mr. Cosby settled was because it would have been embarrassing in those days to put all those women on the stand, and his family had no clue. That would have been very hurtful.
A little over a year ago, the name Bill Cosby conjured up images of pudding pops and horrible sweaters.
I can talk down to you because I had a successful sitcom. Yeah, it was great women, Bill Cosby, so kind of brings it down a couple notches.
But after a Hannibal Buress routine went viral, the internet decided to investigate the alleged rape allegations against the famous comedian. And in perhaps the worst PR move of the digital age, the Cosby team asked Twitter to meme Bill Cosby. And they certainly did, given the strange request. By now, dozens upon dozens of women have come forward, dating back to the 60s. And when the details of a 2005 deposition emerged, it became clear that Mr. Cosby had a long history of not only assaulting women, but paying them to keep silent. Allegedly. And Cosby wouldn't be the only TV personality to face molestation charges this year, with the revelations accompanying Josh Duggar of TLC's 19 Kids and Counting, resulting in the reality series cancellation and his checking into rehab.
Duggar apologized on social media, writing, "I acted inexcusably, for which I am extremely sorry and deeply regret."
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Honey, I can't wait to see our greatest creation yet.
Opening up about the dirty details of daddy duty.
I've always wanted to be a mother. I love what I do, but I'm excited for the next phase of my life.
How did you manage to keep it a secret?
Where there is a will, there is a way.
Amber Heard is opening up for the first time about her marriage to Johnny Depp.
Number 1, the introduction of Caitlyn Jenner.
Tall and arrestingly handsome, he was the ideal male athlete for millions of Americans.
At the beginning of 2015, the world knew this individual as a former Olympic hero and certainly a star of E's Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
I pick you up and throw you over your head.
But after months of public speculation, Bruce Jenner decided to open up about his past troubles and his hopes for the future.
I look at it this way. Bruce, always telling a lie. He's lived a lie his whole life about who he is. And I can't do that any longer.
In April, he sat down for an interview with Diane Sawyer. And just a few months later, she appeared on the July cover of Vanity Fair, thus setting the internet afire and changing the world as we know it. Even though most transgender people don't necessarily have the same platform to speak out.
How do you feel?
Fabulous.
Yeah?
Regardless, everybody was talking about the introduction of Caitlyn Jenner, and it was the number 1 pop culture story of the year.
And so thank you, Glamour Magazine, for honoring me tonight. I never in a million years ever thought I would be here, and I'm sure you didn't either, but here I am, baby.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the...
You're gonna have a parliament?
I will tell you that when I have a country.
No, I won't be afraid. Oh, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you
live long. Prosper.
And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me.
Piper wants to keep that belt by the look of the thing. Here sure the referee won't allow that.
Take time with a wounded hand, 'cause it likes to heal.
I never really doubted you. It was just my silly common sense.
But we also know that we live in the freest, strongest, most generous, and prosperous nation in the history of the world, and we're thankful for that.
Harris, heard you were desperate for a man piece.
When you die, that does not mean that you lose to cancer. You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and in the manner in which you live.